I'm here in sunny Marlow today to meet up with a YouTube friend and to explore this beautiful town on the river, not far from London. I actually had never heard of Marlow before, but then I watched the Marlow Murder Club. Sorry, I learned about a lot of places in Britain from detective shows, and this is one of them. Marlow is a picturesque market town in Buckinghamshire on the banks of the River Thames, about an hour west of London. Known for its elegant suspension bridge, Georgian streets, and lively riverside, it grew wealthy through river trade before becoming a fashionable leisure destination. Today, it's famous for boating and rowing, excellent restaurants, boutique shops, and literary connections, including Mary Shelley, who completed Frankenstein while living here. It combines historic charm, scenic Thames views, and an affluent village atmosphere. Thankfully, the Marlow Murder Club is just a fictional creation, and therefore the murder rate per capita is not nearly so high in reality. When I found out that my friend Dani, who has the YouTube cooking channel called Black Cat Kitchen, lives near Marlow and was willing to meet up with me there, I thought this is the time to visit. So here's my friend Dani.
Hi.
And she is also feeling rather magenta today. She dressed appropriately to meet up with me, so that was super fun. It's our first time meeting each other, even though we've known each other as YouTube buddies for years. But we're here in Marlow, standing on the edge of the Thames, and she's going to point out a few interesting things that we're seeing, starting with...
This is a talking point in Marlow all the time, and the reason why is there's actually a boat that's moored up there now, and it's a full living room. The boat is literally a glass living room, and occasionally you'll see them take it out onto the river and they'll be sitting on their sofas as they float down the Thames, and it's really cool to see. But this is always a talking point. Everyone says, what's that big white thing on the river? So here you are, there you know now. It's a boat, that's a living room.
Wow, fun. And then next to it is a big property that has some amazing willow trees, and that looks like quite a big garden next to it. So I'm sure there's all kinds of interesting homes. So here is one part of the massive estate. You can see some lovely guest houses, and that's probably the boathouse. And then we're gonna walk down and see some more. From here, we can see a view of the conservatory. And I bet that's going to be really warm this afternoon when it's 32 degrees here. Now we're seeing the house from a different angle. It is massive and beautiful half timber house. I've never seen someone rowing right by an abbey before. Okay, so what abbey is this?
So this is Bisham Abbey. So the other side of the Thames is Bisham, the little town of Bisham. And the manor house itself was built in the 1200s, but the abbey was built before then. So the whole name is named after the church itself, the monastery, the abbey.
We're looking at this beautiful view of the abbey from this point on the path, and Ian wants you to know that this truly is a Norman tower. So often church towers, we call them Norman towers, but they don't have these Norman arches all the way up. Ian is estimating this is from no later than 1190.
And that makes perfect sense because the manor house was built around 1206. So in order to support the abbey itself, they would have built the manor house. And it's now turned into a sports center that you can actually rent rooms in, stay in if you're in the area.
Wow.
They've got tennis courts. They play football on the fields out there. It's a really lovely little location. And the rooms are really reasonable too. So a nice place to stay when you're visiting. So this is one of the locations you can stay in. And actually years ago, the English national football team used to train here. So a little bit more history about the abbey. So we have a lot of celebrities that live in and around Marlow, and right now you're looking at Chris Evans' house. He was the host of Top Gear once the three original presenters left. So you can see he moved here, I think about 5-6 years ago during COVID times, and he's been in and around. You can see him driving his classic cars up the high street pretty often. He does a lot of our Christmas light switch-ons and really supports the town as well.
This may or may not pick up the swan weather vane. It's a flying swan weather vane, which is appropriate because there's lots of swans here on the river.
So just down the river from Marlow is Henley-on-Thames, which is most famous for the Henley Regatta, the rowing regatta that happens every year, and the royal family attend it. But we actually have a Marlow Regatta in town, and it predates Henley Regatta, so it's quite a big festival here.
It's the OG.
It is the OG. People come out, have picnics, watch the racing, and it's just a really nice day. Somehow the weather always turns out beautiful. It's a good lot of fun. This is our famous Marlow Bridge. It is quite contentious for the people of Marlow. You can only go over with a car that is a certain size and weight. So they've actually built a bypass around the town so that you don't have to drive over it with your oversized vehicles. But
we discovered that actually because when we drove in here this morning, Ian was very nervous going through the...
Yeah, there's some really, really tight little bollards that you need to get through, and it's quite challenging. You can't really see them very well at the moment, but on the far right-hand side, where the massive big pillar is, there's pigeons that live on the top of that, and that's because they used to live at the rowing club. There was a fire there, and they all moved, and that's their new home. So that's a little interesting tidbit about the bridge. Another cool fact about it is it's actually twinned with a bridge in Budapest. So if you're ever in Budapest and you see a bridge like this, it's the twin of the one in Marlow.
Let's take a look at this map to get a reference to where we are on the Thames relative to other places. For some of these places, I have done videos and I will put links in the description. At the top of the Thames is Cirencester and Lechlade, up near us in the Cotswolds. Then we get to Oxford, a lovely place for a day trip, and on down to Marlow. Beyond that, we have the famous Windsor and Hampton Court, a castle and a palace that I've done videos on, as well as the lovely Kew Gardens. I filmed a little video of us riding a boat up the Thames from Westminster to Kew, which was great fun. There's the complete angler, and here we are from the top of the weir. Down there is the bridge we are walking to. Now I'm going to go film the weir, so Boppy, you might want to not watch the next 10 seconds of this video. This is your danger warning, weir ahead. So despite the fact that one of the stars of Marlow Murder Club swims and, well, actually goes skinny dipping in this river, it's not advised to swim in the river. As you can see, it's a bit murky and reports are that there's some nasty bacteria in there, so don't try this at home. This is the church that is in the Marlow Murder Club TV program. One of the members of the club is married to the vicar of this church. People have been praying on this site for over 1,000 years. We won't be in here long because they are setting up for an event, but the church is beautiful and I love the candles. And that's a lovely font and font cover. Very elaborate. Usually don't see ones that elaborate except in a cathedral. So here on the edge of the churchyard is a bench right here on the bank of the Thames, and this is where sometimes the characters in the show will come and sit. Across the river is the Complete Angler, where we are going to go have a drink. And on this side of the church is an entrance to the crypt, which was a part of the show. Not sure if you can really go in there though. Oh, the vicarage next to the church is really pretty. Beautiful construction. We have found the crew filming the Marlow Murder Club Series 3. We'll see if we see what they're doing. This is the Catholic Church in Marlow. And here is the house where they were filming an episode for Series 3, aka Season 3. This house is involved in one of the episodes, so I think I'm gonna have to take a selfie in front of it. It appears that they are filming in the back garden right now. I'm not gonna be nosy and stick my camera in there though. This sign is warning that if I walk through here, I might be caught on camera. That sounds fun. Now we're stopping for lunch at the Royal Oak pub. As soon as I saw the magenta cushions, I felt right at home. Hot day, so we decided to eat out in the back garden under a shady umbrella. I was very excited to see a pub grub option on the menu that I have not seen in years. They have bubble and squeak here. which is so fun. We love it, but I never see it on the menu anymore, so we had to order it. Here is the Bubble and Squeak, which I believe has a fancy little potato cake with carrots and cabbage on the bottom, a poached egg, a rasher of streaky bacon, I believe, and then hollandaise sauce, and I don't know, maybe some pesto or something on it, and some little cherry tomatoes. And then Ian ordered the lamb shawarma, which is slow-cooked shredded lamb shoulder on pita with roasted red pepper hummus, pickled red cabbage, cucumber salad, garlic mayo, and sweet chili sauce. And then, ooh, look at this. That is a proper cheeseburger. And coleslaw and chips. And then this was the other thing that I wanted to order but didn't, so I'm just gonna have to have a bite of yours, Dani.
No problem.
Chicken schnitzel. I fell in love with schnitzel in Bavaria. Speaking of German things, here's our little dachshund friend. We started off our summer in Britain having sticky toffee pudding. Here we are, we're about to finish the summer. We're about to leave England, so we've got to close it off with having another STP here today because this pub allegedly has very good sticky toffee pudding. We are approaching the high street of Marlow now, and this place, The Coach, is a Michelin star restaurant in town. We'll have to try that on a future visit. It's lovely to see the bunting. Yes, our friends are saying the bunting is in honor of us, but since I've watched the Marlow Murder Club, I know they're lying because it's always here in the opening shot of the show. The Cotswold Company store, so I'm feeling very at home, and a Gale's Bakery, which Ian and I love eating at Gale's when we're in London. That's one of the places that we don't have in Cheltenham, actually. Never heard of a Scamp and Dude store before, but it looks very magenta. This looks like a fancy place. Lots of nice independent shops here, and lots of wonderful restaurants. Next time when we come back, we'll have to try the cakes at Strawberry Grove. Allegedly, they're delicious, but I'm really full from the sticky toffee pudding, which was also delicious. One final Marlow shot of the park and the church and the bottom of the high street. Now we're going to go have a drink at the Complete Angler to finish our time here in Marlow, at a table with a view of the church and the river. We want to sincerely thank Dani and her husband for hosting us on a lovely day in the Marlow area. Stay tuned for next week's video, in which they take us to a village I've always wanted to visit, the home to the Vicar of Dibley TV program. In the meantime, please check out my video of Richmond, another fabulous town along the Thames, which coincidentally is home to yet another famous TV program. More importantly, it's just a beautiful and interesting place to visit, which we highly recommend. Thanks so much for watching this video, and do something good in the world today.